it's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men? You look around the city here, you see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning. This thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death.
Like, even you ladies, like, you ask your men to pay all your bills, to make X amount of money a year, to do all these things. But the moment they ask you, like, hey, can you be a little bit more feminine? Or like, hey, maybe if you can put yourself together, you are just like, damn, you are a misogynist. You are a sexist. But yeah, I want you to
The traditional role of a man was to protect and provide. Protect and provide for his family, including his children and his wife or partner. The traditional role of a woman was to nurture and support. Nurture and support her kids and her husband or partner. And this provided the solidity and stability for society. But right now, what we have is many generations of women who are no longer wanting to remain in their primal role of being the nurturer and supporter. They are wanting to be the provider as well. So they are in the workforce, keeping up with the boys, if you like, the men, I should say, and constantly sort of pushing to prove their worth through showing that they're independent and can do everything they want. And I speak from a place of experience because I've been there and done that. But now what are we left with? We are left with a society that is literally breaking down. We are left with many deeply unhappy people. Women are unhappy. Most women are unhappy in that sort of lifestyle. Their bodies are breaking down because they no longer are getting the rest and the flow that they need for their cyclic nature. And men are deeply unhappy because they no longer have anyone to provide and protect for, which is their primal role. So we're stuck in this place of being unhappy. What do we do?
Respect to men is love. Like, men don't feel loved if they don't feel respected. And your job as a woman is to make them look good. Does it look good to a guy to have his girl hugging the whole basketball team, hugging the whole rap scene?
One of the roles of a man in the family is to be a provider. But some mistake this to mean just providing for their financial needs. This video is just a reminder to fellow husbands and fathers out there that our role goes beyond just providing for our family's financial needs. We should also be providers of their mental, emotional, and spiritual needs.
Men and women equal in Islam. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, which means the man is not like the woman, which is true. Mentally, physically, emotionally, we are different. We think differently. We see the world differently. But what this does not mean is that one is better than the other. All it means is that because of these differences, we have different skills, unique roles, unique responsibilities. And because of these differences, when the man and woman come together in Islam, they complete each other. As Allah summarizes beautifully in the Quran, He says, "Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahun." They are a clothing for you, and you are a clothing for them. Now, if we think about it, what is clothing for? Doesn't it give you comfort? Doesn't it give you security? Doesn't it beautify you? This is how the relationship between man and woman is defined in Islam. It's not about competition, it's about cooperation.
All right, y'all, so I had to do a video on the characteristics of the ultimate man. Let's get into it. Chase purpose, not women. A provider, confident, didn't care about being liked or popular, was unapologetic about his opinions. A leader, strong mind, strong spirit, moved in silence. A loner, extremely disciplined, did not let his desires drive him, only surrendered and submitted to God himself. His love was expressed in action, self-sacrifice, not just words. He was strategic, not emotionally driven or ego-driven. He was secure. He only needed to be validated by God and himself. And if you didn't know, these are the traits of the ultimate man that has ever walked the earth, and that's Jesus.
The man's role in a marriage
is to not just be a leader. Yes, you need to be a leader. I believe it is my responsibility, and Carla plays a huge part in it, but I have accepted it is my responsibility that my house serves God. It is my responsibility that my finances are in order. It is my responsibility that my wife is honored. It is my responsibility that my kids are taken care of. But it is also the man's responsibility to be ready and willing to lay down his life. And that doesn't mean I jump in front of a car for you. It means I will put aside my selfishness. I will put aside my demands for you. I will make sure that my wife and my children are honored and loved and taken care of before myself.
Very good. Women say they don't need a man. This happens a lot on social media. That's not true. Show me one successful family where dad's not there and someone wasn't there playing the dad role somehow. Even if it was an awesome uncle, a grandpa, a boyfriend, a stepfather, whatever it was, there was some kind of strong fatherly role. If not, it's total chaos.
Men aren't obsessed with women anymore, and it's weird. These men are more into themselves than they are women. They expect a woman to buy them flowers and chocolate. In their mind, they're the catch, and women should chase them. But that was never how it was intended to be. As men by nature, we are hunters. Women are the catch. We gotta put the work in. But these men are too self-absorbed, and they expect a woman to do everything.
I don't know when we're finally going to realize that men are no longer afraid to be single. I mean, yes, they want you, but they don't need you because they would rather step back, build themselves up, and then decide if a woman is worth it. And that man is dangerous because he will see right through your pretty face, your manicured nails, and your sexy outfit. And it is only when he knows that you are being real with him that he will put everything on the line.
Have you ever noticed that men have really nice skin without even trying? It's because they stress out everyone but themselves!
So Numbers 30 talks about how a man can annul a covenant that a woman has made if they're married. So if a husband and wife are married and the woman goes out and makes a spiritual covenant of any kind, the man can actually step in and cancel that agreement for her. Now this is really important to understand, especially as men, because men can actually speak life over their women, and their women, the bondage and the spiritual bondage and stuff will break off of them. And this is the same for fathers and daughters. If a father speaks life over his daughter, it will actually change his daughter. If he speaks kind words, if he speaks blessings over her, if he blesses her, the man can change the woman. It is designed that way on purpose because men are supposed to learn how to do this, and it's very lacking these days in our world. So husbands and men out there, learn how to speak life over your women, even if you don't feel like it, because it will change them over time. You will break off spiritual bondage from them, you will renew their spirit, and they will grow like a garden. The woman in Genesis is likened to a garden that as you nurture it and as you build a fence around it, as you protect it, as you water it, it begins to grow and flourish. Just like you've heard, I'm sure before, that a man can give a woman a house and she will make it a home. A man can give a woman the sperm and she will make a baby and a family. So that is how it works. And it works the same with our words too. Our words are to speak life over each other, but especially in the situation of men and women. So important to understand, even in the church body. Men, if you're coming onto ladies' videos and just slandering them and just being toxic, you are working against what God's design for you is. So keep that in mind when you're going out and finding women's videos and putting nonsense on them. Speak life, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is in the garden, the design of the man and the woman. Now, I've gone into this in a whole big detail in my marriage course. The link for that is in my bio. But if we go back to the garden, if we go back to Genesis and we look at the design of the man and the woman, the man is designed to be in the image of God or the image of the beast, okay? He gets to choose. He can be in the image of a beast or he can be in the image of God. The woman is designed to remind the man if he is in the image of God or if he's going to be in the image of the beast. Now, a married couple, if you have a married couple, If the man is being in the image of God, speaking life over his wife, providing, protecting his family, in most situations, unless the woman has extreme issues that she hasn't dealt with, the woman will flow with the man. This is Ezer Kenegdo, the suitable helper. She will flow with the man. If the man is acting like a beast, he's acting like an animal in the field, the woman will oppose the man. And that is what Ezer Kenegdo means. It's like this identity that flows with you or it opposes you, depending on the man's behavior.